What up, y'all? Episode OJ Simpson of Shoe Booty Sports. That's episode 32 for you cool cats and kittens keeping up at home.
It's a killer
This is,
episode.
yes, it is. This is great. This is your host, Graham Powell. It took me like one Mississippi to get that. This is your host,
A little
Graham
delay.
Powell. Yeah, a little bit. And co host, Bradley Brown,
What's up?
coming at you on Tuesday night about 9 p.m. Central Time. For reasons we won't get into, but give a quick plug to our sponsor. Ladies and gentlemen, Rhino Races is our sponsor. They sponsor Shoe Booty Sports. Rhino Races is a virtual race series that offers 5 different races: a 5K, a 10K, a half marathon, and the Rhino Ultra, a one-of-a-kind, unique ultra marathon-like challenge that's been quite the hit as of late. Visit rhinoraces.com for those details and to sign up for those races today. Also, check out their gear section and more, top 15, Hall of Fame status, etc. RhinoRaces.com, ladies and gentlemen. Also, you can find Shoe Booty Sports. You can find us here on YouTube, Spotify, Apple and Google Podcast, the Wisdom app. And yeah, be sure and follow and subscribe to those channels. And also, you can find us on Twitter at Shoe Booty Sports. So we'll dive right in. NBA Finals start Thursday, 8 p.m. Game 1 between the Warriors and Celtics. I imagine this is probably the matchup the league wants. Who else do you want to come out of the East right now? I mean, because LeBron James is in the West now, so let's just go get the biggest market and the most storied franchise coming out of that conference. So, yeah, Boston and the team that the franchise that's been the best team for the last decade, pretty much, or close to it.
Close to it, yeah.
Golden State Warriors. Yeah, the Warriors are back. Took care of business against Dallas, beat them in 6. And hey, go figure. I did call I'll toot my own horn a little bit. I did call the Eastern Conference Finals. Celtics in 7. I legitimately thought it was going to be 7 games. I don't see how you could watch game 7 and think otherwise, that any of those teams would beat the other in 6 games. But that's the thing. I mean, the Heat were so like injury depleted. I mean, they could have been, who knows, had they been healthy, Tyler Hero, etc. Did you see Jimmy Butler's 3?
When I came up short at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The 3. You know the one I'm
D3.
talking about.
Yeah, I seen it.
What are your thoughts on that shot selection?
I mean, I like it. Hell, if it would have went in.
Yeah, it's a different story.
Yeah.
But I think you could say, I mean, you got to remember who's guarding him, Horford. It's not like Jimmy Butler's a great 3-point shooter, and you can drive right past him and
he looked like
game.
He had wide open to the lane or basket.
But he could also be thinking, hey, nobody's gonna expect me to do this, so. But sometimes the best thing to do is the easiest thing to do. So that's my take on it. I mean, they're not there without Jimmy Butler, so you can't. It's not like you can blame him for anything. Jimmy Butler's the reason they got to 7.
Mm-hmm.
With his 47 points, I believe it was in Game 6, just an absolute ridiculous performance, absolute superstar level performance by him. So, not knocking Jimmy Butler, he's the reason they made it that far. But yeah, if in hindsight, I'm sure he would have elected for. I mean, of course, hindsight, he'd do that. But if he could do it over again, that's the higher percentage shot for sure. Especially considering who you got on you. It's not like he had Tatum on him. It was Horford, a guy he could have gotten around. But anyway, got Warriors and Celtics again. Game 1 starting Thursday at 8:00. Is it ABC? I assume it's an ABC thing. That'll probably be shown on ESPN too. They're all owned by Disney.
Yeah, that's a pretty good guess. You got predictions?
Oh, of course we got predictions. What kind of show do you think this is? You know what kind of show we're rocking. Of course we got predictions. I'm going to go Warriors in 6. I almost said Warriors in 5, but considering Tatum and Brown, 2 very, very good players, I'm not quite ready to call Jaylen Brown a superstar, but Jason Tatum is definitely a superstar. Although Jaylen Brown's a really, really good player, and he's coming, and they got a lot of good pieces there around him. I think the Celtics can get 2 games.
They can.
Especially they can. But I think they will. I think Tatum will get them 2 games. I think it's just it's the Warriors. The Warriors are back, man. They're back. They're not only back though, they're a revamped team. It's like the Warriors 2.0. You've got it's just a new crop. They're younger. Jordan Poole is another guy that's coming. He's emerging into a superstar. And quick shout out to Moses Moody, by the way. I wanted to give him a shout out last week, and it just simply forgot. It slipped my mind. Just the game he had against the Mavericks. I believe it was game 5. It was just absolutely showed out. Or no, I think it was game 6. But he had a couple of really nice games. Moses Moody, Arkansas, former Arkansas Razorback, was there last year on the Hogs Elite 8 team, the first of 2 these last 2 years. But did you see that stat about him having the second most minutes played, for a rookie in a conference final? First guy being Kobe Bryant. So
I thought it was just a 19-year-old, but
I think it's rookie.
Well,
I don't know. Maybe it's technical. I think it was rookie though. I think it was a rookie stat. I think he's the only
it's a pretty
rookie
crazy stat
left in the playoffs. But yeah, that's quite the accomplishment for year 1, getting to play in the NBA Finals. And I mean, he's playing. I mean, he's of course not racking up huge minutes. I mean, how would he on that team? But
yeah,
no, he's coming in and contributing. He's not just sitting there. He's not a guy sitting on the bench. He's coming in. He's doing his bench. Well, and that team knows their role. They know their roles. Everybody on that team does. Draymond knows what he does. He defends. He distributes. He rebounds. I mean, Draymond's their 5. 6-7 guys, they're 5. I mean, he'll go out and get like between 8 and 10 and 5 boards, 5 assists, a couple of steals. I mean, that's his stat line. But he makes that team so much better. I mean, he's basically he's kind of the heartbeat of that team. Clay's back. It was nice to see. I did stay and watch by stay, I mean, I kept it on the channel. The trophy presentation, there for the Western Conference Finals, and seeing Clay's reaction and him talking to Ernie Johnson. I don't see how you could root against Klay Thompson after watching that. The guy was just like started running again, like this time, a year ago, pretty much. And he had a hell of a game in that game 6, series clinching win for the Warriors. But I don't see how you could watch that interview of him after the game and not be a Klay Thompson fan. And I mean, it's just a tight group, man. 3 Hall of Famers, superstar up and coming in Jordan Poole, nice pieces around them. I don't see how anybody could. Some have picked the Celtics to win it, but I just don't see it, man. This isn't the 2004 Pistons, going up against the aging Lakers.
Anybody that lives outside of Boston actually picking them to win?
Yeah, I mean, some are. I think Jeff Van Gundy picked them. Of course, that's the game. That's like the team he's covered essentially, though. So he's kind of, he's right there courtside. Boston's a very good team.
Oh yeah, they've been on.
They're not there
by
they're not there by accident, but they can also. They're not very good at putting teams away either, and they've shown to. I mean, they tried to give that game away, multiple times, against the Heat there at the end, but that's a bad recipe to have against the Warriors, because that's the thing about the Warriors. The Warriors could be down, and then you blink, and then they're up 10.
Yeah,
the 3-point ball will do that. But I just don't. I see Boston. I mean, they've been knocking on the door So for the last several years. So it's not like they don't have any experience coming into this, but then again, this is different. It's a different stage. Yeah, you're not inexperienced, but you're going up against a team that has the experience. I mean, the ultimate experience, in this game, in
So
this series.
makes you think though, why did Kyrie want out so bad?
KD, you mean?
Huh?
KD, you mean?
Kyrie with the Celtics.
Oh, it's Kyrie, man. Why did he want out of Cleveland? He had LeBron James. I mean, I know LeBron is.
Well, he didn't want to be Robin. He wanted to be the main guy.
So he goes to the Nets and plays with KD.
Yeah,
it makes a lot of sense. I'm
sure
that's
KD
after
feels real nice watching the Warriors get back to the finals without him.
Well, he supposedly went on some podcast. I don't know if this is accurate or not because there's so many posts that are like why can't I think of the word now? Like satire. There's so many satirical posts now that I don't know what's real and what isn't anymore. But he apparently went on some sports podcast and said, "Yeah, I should have stayed. Like I should have stayed."
I made a mistake.
I mean, he did. He left the best culture, the best team culture, the best organization to and here's the thing. He left Steph Curry, probably the most selfless player in the NBA, or at least he's up there. Steph's been coming off the bench and still averaging 30, Steph's been coming off the bench and was going to fly to meet up with KD and try to work this out. And then he, got word on the plane that KD signing with the Nets. But okay, yeah, he left Steph for Kyrie Irving. Think about that. He left one of the most selfless players in the NBA to probably the most selfish. And we see how that's worked out. Not very well for KD and crew. For KD and crew. Or no. KD. But yeah, he went on some sports podcast supposedly. I mean, again, this isn't 100% factual, but this is what I saw. So it must be true, right? Or at least 70. Even if it's not true, he's thinking it. He's definitely thinking like, man, I screwed up. I left the best situation possible. And it's not like he was taking a back seat. Now, granted, he did take the easier path to a championship. Of course he did.
Yes, yeah.
But KD was the guy. I mean, he was their best player. Of course, it's Kevin Durant. But yeah, he left the best situation possible for a very dramatic situation, basically, and just not as good of a team. I mean, went from Steph to Kyrie is essentially all you need to say. That's essentially all you need to say. But okay, so yeah, shout out Moses Moody. I got the Warriors in 6. I don't know who gets the Finals MVP. You never know. It's a weird thing to predict. Everybody thinks that this is Steph's year to do it. It's like, yeah, well, I mean, and granted, they went against LeBron James the years they won it, and I mean, Iguodala was definitely the MVP the year they won it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was when it was the Warriors versus LeBron, and LeBron was getting a lot of the MVP votes. Which he would have gotten my vote too. I would have voted LeBron that series too.
Mm-hmm.
But it's happened before, and they were like, "Oh, it's gonna be well, okay." But yeah, he was the most valuable player on the floor. So, but yeah, I don't care about that, but I got Warriors in 6. They're just the better team. They're more experienced. I think coaching's about the same. It's just, I think Boston's well coached, but it's again, that's me on the. I don't see Steve Kerr as this big difference maker. I think he's just in the best situation, and he is a leader of that team. I will say that. I'm not knocking him. I just don't see it. His coaching is like this big advantage, but I think they're just the better team. They're the more talented team, the more experienced team. That's my long way of saying Warriors in 6. And if I got to pick an MVP, I'm going to go. I'll go Steph. We'll say Steph MVP. Because he has been the MVP these last few series. So yeah, I'll go Steph this one.
Yeah. That's a pretty safe call. Yeah, I'll go ahead and just throw out 5 games. I'll just say that.
I was on the fence about it, yeah. So you got Warriors in 5. Who you got for the Finals MVP?
Yeah, I go with Steph.
You don't have to, but it's probably the safe bet. Okay, so yeah, again, game 1 Thursday, 8 p.m. And the way it's spaced out, like game 2's on a Sunday, game 3's on a Wednesday, so we're gonna have more coverage, of the finals this time next week. So it will only be 2 games in. But all right, so I do think it's cool. Moses Moody, being the second Arkansas player in a row, second Arkansas player. I'm saying this wrong. It's back-to-back years that an Arkansas Razorback is going to be in the NBA Finals. That's pretty cool. Bobby Portis winning it last year with the Bucks, and Moses Moody has a chance to get a ring this year with the Warriors. Probably favored to do so. So pretty cool. Shout out Arkansas Razorbacks. I'll also, while I'm at it, going to give a shout out to the Razorback softball team on the best season in school history. They got ousted in the Super Regionals by Texas. They beat them 7-1, I believe it was, in game 1, and then it was just essentially all Texas after that.
Yep.
Arkansas's pitching was there, they just couldn't get the offense going those last 2 games. But nonetheless, it's a great team. Back-to-back SEC champions, won their first ever SEC tournament championship this year. So they're still going to get some hardware from them girls, as they deserve. They're going to be losing some pieces. It was pretty, like, I got to know some of these players watching them. Their best hitter, Danielle Gibson. Yeah, she's a senior, so she's going to be missed. But, with Deifel leading that program, she's going to have a new crop coming in. Then there's some younger players, that are going to step up and have even bigger seasons as well. Which, by the way, that third baseman, Hannah Gamble, she's from BB. I thought that was interesting. They're like from BB, Arkansas. I was like, oh, whoa, cool. All right. And BB always has a pretty good softball team. So I'm not surprised there. But yeah, again, shout out Razorback softball team, greatest season in school history. Woo pig on that. And okay, well, we'll say this. We'll jump back to basketball for a sec. But what do you think of the conference final MVP awards? The Magic Johnson MVP award for the West, obviously, and the Larry Bird MVP award for the East. It's a bit overkill for me, personally.
Yeah, are those the ones that look like the mini, like the mini championship trophies?
I mean, it looks like the Finals MVP trophy, but it's for a conference final.
Why are you making a big deal about a conference final? I mean, yeah, it's cool, but the goal is to win the freaking league final. Like,
yes,
you won't
the
be the champion.
one. Yeah, well, I'm cool with like a conference championship team trophy. I'm totally okay with that. That's only been around forever.
Yeah, but don't make it look exactly like. Yeah.
Well, no, that's
exactly like the other trophy.
No, this is different. Well, yes, that, but I'm just saying I'm cool with you having a team award for being the conference champion, but having like an MVP award for we're pros, it's the professional level. It's a bit overkill at this point, but then again, if it gives the trophy guy something to do, or, if it gets him some money and him or her some money, and we can name something after Larry Bird and Magic Johnson, I get it. I get that side of it too. So, but all in all, it's still a bit overkill for me. It's not something I would take very seriously if I'm, a player like looking to stack my resume. I'm not going to put on their conference final. You're not going to put on their conference final MVP. Like Michael Jordan, six NBA championships. Wow, 6 NBA championships, 6 Finals MVP awards. Like, yeah, that's the stat. It's not
Mm,
6 NBA championships, 6 Finals MVPs, 6 Eastern Conference Finals MVPs. It's too much for as far as that goes. So it's not going to be taken seriously as for anything like that. But if it's what it is. It's just a way for the league to name a couple of trophies after some legends. I get it. That were rivals, Larry Bird and Magic Johnson. So that's kind of cool, I guess.
sure.
But yeah, my thoughts on it. All right, we will jump to some other news now. I saw today Nick Saban defending his comments about what he said about Texas A&M and the NIL deals. It was a very Nick Saban comment. Did you see it or hear about it?
No, I don't. The only thing I seen today was where someone asked him if him and Jimbo had any issues or something, and he's like, "Oh, I don't have a problem with Jimbo." It's like that was the only thing I seen, so I didn't see a whole lot.
Oh yeah, I mean, what's he supposed to say there? Even if
Yeah,
he
I hate
did,
that man.
I don't like him. But yeah, Saban. He basically it was a very Nick Saban answer. He's like, "Well, I didn't say anything wrong, uh, but this is what the NIL." Then he goes on to say what's wrong with the way it's currently set up, and I'll just spare you the details. It was just a very Nick Saban answer. And I'm like, yeah, that's true. You didn't technically say anything incorrect, but you worded it, in a way that wasn't going to come off, that wasn't going to be very accepting by the people you were talking about. And yeah, so in that way, what you said was wrong. That's, I mean, yeah, technically you didn't say anything incorrect, but yeah, it was just a very Nick Saban answer. That's about the best way I can put it. A very Nick Saban answer that let me defend myself and not really take. I mean, I guess he did. I guess he did try to apologize and whatnot, but then goes on to kind of dodge the question or answering it fully, and then goes on to say what's wrong with the current setup, which he is correct about. But you could have addressed that, at another point. But
Yeah,
anyway, I just thought that was interesting. And another thing I thought was interesting was Aaron Donald talking about working on a new deal for not this next season, but the one after. I mean, he's still got 2 years or 2 years remaining on his deal, but he's trying to get paid up. I get it. He's in kind of in the middle pack, not middle pack, but he's like what, the seventh, eighth, something like that, highest paid player, like either defensively. It's got to be defensively, and he's the
yeah,
best.
I would
He's
think
the best
defensively.
defensive player in football. I don't mind the guy wanting to get paid. Um, but either the article was that I read on ESPN.com. Bless you, Dexter. Jeez, can you hear that back there?
Yeah, tell him to calm down.
Golly, man,
Dang.
dude, are you all right? What are you doing? Yeah, that's my dog. He wants to get involved. He wants to do his part. That's what Dexter thinks about it. Maybe where he's back on the Saban thing. I don't know. But yeah, the only thing it's easy it was either the way that the article was written about this that threw me off or is incorrect, or Aaron Donald's like completely contradicting himself in here. Buddy, are you okay? Do we need to pause? What's going on? And he's back behind me, so I can't see anything. But this will be fun. Yeah, you never know what you're gonna get here at Shoe Booty Sports, ladies and gentlemen. So yeah, see, okay, so here's the thing. Aaron Donald says he's at peace with his career if he and the Rams can't agree to a new contract. And this is straight from the article. But then he kind of goes on to say it ain't about the money, it's a business at the end of the day. So, which he said on a podcast hosted by former NFL players Brandon Marshall and Pac-Man Jones and LaShawn McCoy, which that's an interesting career.
How did they get a show?
I might have to check that out just for that lineup. At least the first two. Wait, it's Brandon Marshall, like wide receiver Brandon Marshall. I think the linebacker Brandon Marshall spells Brandon funny, like with an IN or something. But then he goes on to say, "That's what you got to see. For me, it's about winning. I don't want to play football if I can't win anyway. So I feel like if I got a real opportunity to win another Super Bowl, then it makes sense to play. But again, it's still a business. We've got to handle the business side of things. And if that wasn't to get handled, then, it is what it is type of situation. I'll be fine regardless." What is he saying there? He's essentially saying, like, I want to get paid, but I want to win. It's like kind of having, you know, it's like eating your cake and having it too, is what it comes off as to me.
Yeah, I have no idea. If I don't want to, I don't want to play football if I can't win. Well, no shit.
But I want to get paid. Like you're not going to be able to surround your team with the players you need to beat. They were the best team in football this year. I mean,
Yeah.
they were the best team in football. And that's because the owner made deals and paid them. And guys like Cooper Kupp weren't in line to get paid yet, which his is coming. It's coming. But and Aaron Donald isn't the highest paid defense player in the league. Again, he's like the 7th or 8th highest or something like that. But yeah, he's you kind of got to pick one. You can't really say, again, that could be the way this article's worded because it just seems obvious to me. It's just a big contradiction. Like I want to get paid, but I only want to play for a winning team or for a team that's set up to win. Like, well, yeah, but if you're getting all the bank, it's going to be hard to hand it out elsewhere too. I know Stafford just got his deal, but then again, man, it's yeah, I don't know. He's also said, like I said all along, I only wanted to play 8 years and I'd be done, and he just completed his 8th season, I believe it was. So it could just be like a power play kind of thing, that you go on a podcast and say. I mean, he could be. I mean, I'm sure he's serious about it, but you gotta. There's got to be a little give there. Uh, yeah, as far as what you're gonna get and what you expect to be able to be surrounded by in return, as far as what the team can do financially, as far as surrounding you with the proper pieces to be in place to be in line to win another Super Bowl. But as long as you got Stafford and a lot of that crew, you're going to have a shot. But yeah, we'll see what happens with that. But in other news, we can jump to baseball for a little bit. Nothing has really changed in the standings. I had the Yankees game on just before this. If it's still going on right now, they're kind of routing the Angels. Yeah, jumped on them early, man. In the first inning, I think it was 5-0 against Syndergaard, Thor. But yeah, nothing has really changed in the baseball standings except for the Reds, the team we've rightfully dogged on the last several episodes.
They heard us making fun of them, so
I guess so. But they've turned it around compared to what they were. They're now 16-31. They're now tied for the worst record in baseball. They don't solely own it. So,
oh man,
shout out to the Reds for that at 16-31, and they're 5-5 in their last 10 games. Just a little side note: the Royals are 2-8. Which, when did the Royals win their World Series? It wasn't that long ago, was it? It was like 2014, 15, something like that.
Yeah, I want to say it was sooner than that.
Exactly. I'm just trying to be realistic because time seems to fly, as far as the years go.
True.
But it wasn't that long ago the Royals were the best team in baseball. And now they're with the Reds as far as tied for the worst in the league. And they've been 2-8 in their last 10 games. So
That's
yeah.
bad.
And I did learn that Joey Votto is a awesome interview. Listen to him on the Dan Patrick show. A very cool dude. Seems like a very cool dude. Funny, personable, can hit, obviously can hit. He'll be in the Hall of Very Good. He'll be one of those players. But yeah, Joey Votto, very cool dude. Yeah, we'll have to reach out to him, get him on the show sometime.
Yeah. You reach out. We got our people in contact with his people.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Make it happen.
Are we on delay or something? That was like a 2 Mississippi response. Maybe not 2, but 1.5.
I think I was clearing my throat, but I don't know.
I mean, what's going? Okay, well, Dexter's sneezing his insides up over here. Now he's over here. You're clearing your throat. It's hot outside. Like I mean, cold season's over. Now, Rona has made its way back around, apparently, especially at the hospital I work at, because all my isolation carts except one are gone and they're outside of patients' rooms. So I've had to stock those more frequently, just diving into the personal life a little bit. But yeah, COVID's apparently on its way back around. So we get that to look forward to. Although this heat supposedly should, take it out. Was that a yawn?
Yep.
Oh, wow.
And a yay for Rona.
Yeah.
I remember when it was just 2 weeks to flatten the curve.
I don't know. I haven't kept up. It just doesn't seem like coronavirus is going anywhere.
That was like way back in the day, like 3 years ago.
I mean, yeah, COVID's been around for a minute now, but we're learning to live with it, I think. So we're not gonna get into that. There's too much. There's enough COVID crap going on. But okay, so jumping back to basketball, Warriors in 5. You got them. I got them in 6. And I think Boston can get a couple of games out of it.
What if Boston just sweeps them?
I mean, well, yeah, that would be wild.
Yeah.
But I mean, like the Pistons were huge. The 2004 Pistons that won it all, they were big underdogs against the Lakers. That was Shaq, Kobe, Karl Malone, Gary Payton.
This is Karl Malone.
Yeah, and if it wasn't for like a game-winning 3 by Kobe, I mean the Pistons could have swept them, and they blew them out in Game 5. But and that was Shaq's last game as a Laker. So check some MLB scores real quick. Cardinals 2-2 against the Padres, bottom of the 8. I haven't seen anybody pitching for them. Any position players pitching for them recently. I guess because they haven't blown anybody out in the last few games or whatever. So, but I did kind of like that. Get the Cardinal legends on the mound that are normally position players. And okay, Clemens makes it to Detroit for Suns MLB debut. So I assume that's Roger Clemens' kid is playing pro ball now. Are you checking scores or something, or did you just?
Yeah, I was looking at scores. My bad.
I did see that a 23rd woman is jumped in, and the Deshaun Watson. I guess who knows when that lawsuit's going to happen.
Man, that is looking like a hell of a deal for the Browns.
Yeah, that's
who doesn't run a reality check with these people? But it's like, hey, let's hold off a little bit. Let's all dust settle.
Yeah, it's the Browns saw it. The Browns saw it as this is our opportunity to get a quarterback, and even if we have to do this, because yeah, well, I remember the Browns. I mean, they could have drafted Deshaun Watson.
Yeah,
but they passed on him, and took like a corner or something. They got someone that's not even with the team still. And then they went and got Deshaun Kaiser, who went like in the next round, who went 4-8 at Notre Dame the previous. Like went 4-8 at Notre Dame. Like Notre Dame's always like a 9-10 win team. And with a couple of bad years sprinkled in here and there, but went 4-8 with Notre Dame, and the Browns are like, yeah, this is our guy.
Yep, he impressed us.
Yeah, so we're just dragging this out at this point, but it's
Are we?
it's a little bit. Yeah, we're diving into COVID. We're touching up on the
what's
it's
your
not
favorite
news
color?
about it's not news about the Browns that they make bad decisions. We know this stuff. We don't have to reiterate it. Red is my favorite. Purple's a close second. So yeah. You delivered the question all right though. It wasn't, Buddy the Elf will always be the king of that. But that wasn't a bad way to bring it in.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, so we'll be out of here in just under 40 minutes, but we'll be back next week with episode Larry Bird. We'll throw in a Eastern Conference Finals MVP plug. That's what it is. That's what he's known for. Episode 33, Shoe Booty Sports. Again, okay, we'll throw in a quick plug for the sponsor. Again, ladies and gentlemen, Rhino Races. I got the shirt. Here we go here for all you checking us out on YouTube and Spotify. Video there on Spotify again, by the way. Visit rhinoraces.com for details of that race series. They offer 5 different races, a 5K, a 10K, a half marathon, a marathon, and the Rhino Ultra, which has been their most popular race. It's their most difficult race, also the most popular one. It's one of a kind. Check it out. Register today, rhinoraces.com. And again, check us out on Apple, Spotify, Google Podcast. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Follow us on Twitter. We're also on the WhatsApp. Follow us on Twitter at Shoe Booty Sports. And on that note, we're going to get out of here, y'all. But again, check us out next week. Till then, this is your host, Grandpa, co-host
Brother Brown.
All right, deuces, y'all.
Yep.